Hey, what's up, guys? This is Bunny Muffins. I got a new video today. I'm going to be going over Assassins. They're probably the strongest composition in the game right now. Really easy first places, really easy top fours, and they go into a lot of different directions, which is what I find is what's so great about them. Pretty much the two units you want to revolve around are Akali and Pyke. Akali's the star of this show. With one Infinity Edge, she can one shot almost anyone. She'll probably two shot a tanky unit such as Sejuani, but even at level 1, I've seen her crit and insta shot anyone with Infinity Edge. And Infinity Edge is really good on her because if you read her ability, which unfortunately you cannot in this on this website, her ability can actually crit. So that's why Infinity Edge is really good because it increases the damage on it and it increases the critical strike chance. Next, you want Frozen Heart. So Frozen Heart's the best item on Pyke because he uses mana really well and he jumps around all around the map. Two Frozen Heart's the sweet spot here because it reduces everyone's attack speed to around 0.27 attack speed, which is pretty abysmal for the enemy. Three is a little too much because I think they cap attack speed at the lowest is like 0.2. So 0.27, zero point 0.2, not too much of a difference. So you don't need that third Frozen Heart on Pyke. But if you do get one, great on Akali because one, it's a defensive item because all the people hitting her are really slowed because she really only needs Infinity Edge for damage items. You could put two on her. That one's good as well. Hextech Gunblade's another option for this flex spot in the middle here because Hextech's really good against Ionic Spark stacking, which is one of the counters to Akali. Overall, against most matchups, you want a Frozen Heart. Lastly, Guardian Angel is very important, probably the most important defensive item because it resets aggro for anyone attacking her, so she could continue critting their faces after respawning. Dragon Claw is a good alternative though, but I personally like Guardian Angel the most for defensive items on Akali. Pyke's pretty self-explanatory. I already went into that. Two Frozen Hearts, that's all you need. You play it once and you'll know why, or watch someone play it against you and then get angry about it, and then you'll also know why. So the way to get into this composition is early game. You want to find Pyke. If you get Pirates at the beginning of the game, Pyke, Gangplank, TF, Graves, any three of those, just play those until Krugs as usual. But the main item or the main champion you want to build your team around is Zed. Main reason is he's a really good item holder. So you could play, let's say you got Pyke and Kha'Zix and then just like a random knight. Let's just throw in Garen there. You could run like one knight, three assassins, or one brawler, three assassins, or you could run two knights, two assassins if you can't find the third assassin. All great combinations. But on the carousel, you want to find Infinity Edge components, and you can see here Infinity Edge is made from BF Sword or Brawler's Gloves. You want to get one of those two in the first carousel, and you really only want to start forcing assassins if you could get two of the either Infinity Edge or Frozen Heart items. So let's say you get a BF Sword and a Tear of the Goddess, then after the first, after all the minion waves in the beginning of the game, then you could think to yourself, okay, maybe I'll try to go assassins. If you don't get those, makes it much harder. I wouldn't personally force assassins. I'd just play the game, and if they happen to give them to me, then I'll still go for them. But this isn't really something you want to force, contrary to what people are complaining about on various TFT forums. But yeah, if you get Infinity Edge or Frozen Heart, put them on Pyke and Zed right away. Reason why is because in most compositions, you'll actually be selling Zed in order to put those items on Akali. Moving into the later rounds in the games, after Krugs, you'll want to try to hit level 6 to increase your chances of getting Akali because she's highly contested. You'll want to run 3 assassins. You could add in knights, have like two knights, 3 assassins at level 5, and then just run whoever's level 2 as well. But the real sweet spots come at level 7. You could also run elementals at this time if you see them instead of the 2 knights. So you could run 3 assassins, 3 elementals, and don't really care about the ninja synergy being taken off just because elementals are so strong. Or you could run elementals and then take out Zed and put in a different assassin, such as Rengar. So if you happen to find Brand when you roll down after Krugs or like whenever you hit level 6, feel free to put them in, and maybe you can run Rengar, for example. So after that, there are a couple of compositions you could go into. A very popular level 7 composition you could go into is Ninja, elemental assassin as seen here. So you could add in Darken on Pyke for the demon synergy and to give him even more mana. Let's say you don't get 2 Frozen Hearts, like you could run him like this. You could run Thief's Gloves on Zed. That's very good for him if you didn't stack your Akali. Akali items we already went over. Then you could put Guardian Angel and Morello on any of these 3 characters. Guardian Angel on Kennen, and then Morello on pretty much any of the elementals, and then you're good to go. This composition is really strong at level 7. Falls off later in the game, so be sure to transition into something else if you do make it that far. But let's say you are low health. You need to put the strongest thing you can out there right now. This would be what you'd want to run. And obviously, if you don't find a Nivea, you could use Lissandra. It's the same thing. They don't really have too big of an impact this game. You really just want elementals for the buff that they give, because that's incredibly strong in the early game, because it's just a flat health tank that you get. So now let's go into some of the other more interesting compositions. This one is 4 wild, 3 assassin, 3 shapeshifter, and hextech. So the reason why this is strong is because if anyone ever builds Phantom Dancer, let's read Phantom Dancer for a second. Wearer dodges all critical strikes, and since assassins are built around critical strikes, don't really want them dodging all of them, because it pretty much makes them immune to all your damage. So if you see a lot of people going Phantom Dancer, see a lot of people going Yordles, you want to run 4 wild. Very popular right now and very strong, so it has a good reason for being played. Same items on Akali, same items on Pyke. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention earlier. If you get a Morello Namicon earlier, you could slap that on Pyke as well. He makes use of that very well. Rengar, typically I don't stack Rengar, but let's say you're full on items on everyone else, you could go ahead and put these damage items on him. This is what I prefer, Rapid Fire being probably the most important. Sorry, Bloodthirster and then Rapid Fire being the most important. And then you could pretty much throw any of your random items that you get, like maybe the ones that you're forced to build, just because you have no other pieces in your inventory, just throw them on Gnar. Gnar can pretty much use every item, almost every item, so I just put that on him. The rest of the units, Vi, Nidalee, Warwick, not really necessary. But the reason why this is so strong, this is probably the strongest composition I'm going to show you for the late game today. Vi and Jace give the Hextech bonus, and since games are so short whenever they're assassins, like the actual fight, Hextech disabling items for 7 seconds means Akali has 7 seconds of free reign over some of their stronger units that are supposed to carry them. And since the games are so short, she'll crit everyone before they Hextech wears off, so they might have a lot of games where they won't even have a chance to use any of their items. So that's why Hextech's so strong. And then 4 wild means the opponent has 0 counterplay. The only counterplay is literally killing the assassins before they kill them, which can be done with Draven comps, but it's pretty RNG based and not really a way for the enemy team to guarantee that kill. And that's why I think this is the strongest composition. Moving on to some other possibilities, you could run ninjas 4 wild as well. So this is stronger than the 3 elemental version because, again, since you can't miss any of your attacks, there's pretty much no counterplay. And yeah, same items on Akali and Rengar, except I love Thief's Gloves on Zed if you can't afford it. So let's say you didn't get an Infinity Edge early, but you do get the Brawler's Gloves because you were going for Infinity Edge. You could just throw Thief's Gloves on Zed. And make someone else the item holder for Akali. And it's a great way to transition into ninjas, which is pretty difficult to do, just because you need so many different pieces and you want them upgraded as well, and it might cost you a lot of money to get into this composition. One thing to keep in mind, don't sacrifice your economy to hold on to random ninjas while you're waiting for Akali, because that could really hurt you in the long run. It's much better to run other assassins and elementals, or maybe keep your knights from the beginning of the game. Use Zed as your item holder for Akali, and not hold Kennen and Shen, because if you lose 1 income during stage 3, it ends up being a lot more than 1 gold, because it might make you miss the next income, which makes you miss the one after that, etc., etc. So do not risk your economy for holding ninjas. Ninjas are a luxury, not a necessity. The last composition I'm showing you today is 6 knights and 3 assassins. And you also get the Imperial with Katarina as well. Again, Akali and Pyke are the stars of the show. Their items stay the same. Katarina, however, she makes really good use of Jeweled Gauntlet because it makes her spell crit. So she could do extremely massive damage with that. You obviously need a Knight's Vow holder. You could make that Katarina. You can make that Pyke, you can make it Akali. It doesn't really matter too much. But I prefer it on Katarina because I like three very specific items on Akali, and Pyke's already getting 2 Frozen Hearts, or maybe one if you're not able to find all the pieces. So that's why I like having Katarina as a Knight's Vow holder. So early in the game, this is really easy to transition into because you'll already have the knights from the beginning, such as Darius and Mordekaiser, and you could use Garen as an item holder earlier. And then once you find Kale, you could go ahead and sell him. This is great because at level 7, you could run 4 knights, 3 assassins, which is really strong. And then when you hit level 8, sorry, at level 7, you could either run 4 knights, 3 assassins, or with a Knight's Vow, you could run 6 knights, 1 assassin with just Akali in play. That's pretty strong. Sorry, Akali and Pyke in play. Pyke holding the Knight's Vow. A lot of different options you can go, and this is probably the most flexible composition because it doesn't force you into running assassins, because 6 knights goes with pretty much anything. You could go 6 knights, 3 shapeshifters, 6 knights, 3 sorcerers, 6 knights, 3 blade masters, 6 knights, 3 elementals. Pretty much any class that has a 3-person combination, you can go. Super strong. You could go with gunslingers such as Jinx, rangers, yeah, pretty much anything in the game you could run with 6 knights, and it is so strong right now. You don't even have to hyper roll for knights. It's completely nuts if you want to try the 6 knight stuff out. Other builds you can try with assassins is going 6 assassins, and that's with the Yumu's Ghostblade. So you'd get rid of all these knights and just run whatever assassins you can get, and throw on Yumu's Ghostblade. One popular build is with ninjas, ninja elementals. You can make Kennen your, or sorry, not ninja elementals. Ninja 6 assassin. You could make Kennen your Yumu's holder because Kennen jumps into the fight really easily with his ult, and he can pretty much stun their entire backline. Let me just pull this up. So as you can see, here is 6 ninja, 4 assassin. You don't have to run Katarina, don't have to run Evelynn. You literally just need, oh, sorry about that. You literally just need any other 2 assassins, because Pyke is 100% necessary because he's such a great Frozen Heart user, but literally anyone down here you can use, and you could hit this composition at 7 people with having Shen as your only non-assassin. And then when you level up to level 8, you can either work with some of the synergies that you're missing, such as like Demon Imperial, so Swain would be very good here, but you could run like any legendary unit, you could run another Akali if you find her. This is really flexible, and if you thought Akali can one-shot people in all the other builds, with 4 ninja, 6 assassin, she one-shots literally anything in the game with her ultimate. It's completely crazy. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and use assassins sometime this week, because I think they have to nerf Akali and they have to nerf Frozen Heart because these are completely busted combinations. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and share the video if you enjoyed this.